Why do we do it? Why do we forgive the same person over and over, even when they just keep hurting us? Well, here's the thing. It's not a weakness. It's actually powerful psychology. And today, we're going to break down exactly what keeps us hooked.
I mean, really think about that. How many times have you heard those two words, "I'm sorry," and felt that little flicker of hope, only to find yourself right back in the same exact spot a week later?
You know that voice in your head, right? The one that swears, this is it, this is the last time. But then that apology comes, and that little spark of hope it creeps back in. And so you stay. This isn't a flaw in your character, it's a powerful mechanism in your brain, and we're about to get into it.
So first up, let's talk biology. It might sound a little weird, but your brain can actually get addicted to the pattern of forgiveness. This is what we call the hope cycle. Here's how it works. First comes the conflict, the emotional pain, but then they apologize or show you affection, and boom, your brain gets a rush of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical, the same one that fuels addictions. It creates a very real chemical reason to stay bonded.
So you're basically on an emotional roller coaster. You're swinging from the intense pain of distance all the way to the overwhelming relief of closeness. That emotional whiplash, it's incredibly potent. It's addictive.
Let's make this super real. Imagine they've been giving you the silent treatment for days. You feel that awful pit in your stomach, that anxiety, that feeling of rejection. And then, your phone lights up.
And there it is, the message. The relief that washes over you it's almost magical, isn't it? That's not just a feeling. That's your brain getting a massive, rewarding hit of that sweet, sweet dopamine.
So here's a wild question. Have you ever actually felt closer to someone right after the fight, just because you were so relieved you didn't lose them? It's a paradox, right? That swing from fear to relief actually strengthens the bond. It teaches your brain that the most intense connection comes right after the deepest pain.
Now, this hope cycle can build into something even more complex and, frankly, more dangerous. Let's talk about trauma bonding. Okay, picture a really bad argument. I mean, words are being thrown around that are just designed to make you feel worthless, completely small. And then, after all that pain, you hear this little line, "You know, I only act this way because I love you so much." And that right there is the moment the wires get crossed. It's where pain and love get tangled up. And that's trauma bonding in a nutshell. Your nervous system is literally being rewired to associate pain with connection. So instead of wanting to escape the thing that hurts you, a part of you starts to crave the comfort that you know will follow.
So you got to ask yourself and be really honest. Are you forgiving them because they're actually changing? Or are you just toughing it out through the bad parts because you're waiting for that sweet side to make a comeback?
This leads us to another huge reason we get stuck. We're not in love with the person in front of us, we're in love with their potential.
You're not actually forgiving their behavior. You're forgiving in the name of their promises. You're holding on to those rare, really good days. Or you're clinging to the memory of that amazing person they were at the very beginning. You're in love with the idea of them, not the reality of their patterns.
And here is a fundamental truth we all need to tattoo on our brains. A person's consistent behavior tells you everything. It tells you way more than their emotional, tear-filled apologies ever will. Actions, not words.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? We forgive what they say, even when what they do never changes. It's such an easy trap, because we just want so badly to believe the words.
And that brings us to maybe the deepest, most primal reason we stay stuck in these cycles. It's just plain old fear. Think about this choice. Staying means a familiar pain. Sure, it hurts, but at least you know what to expect. Leaving? That's a huge, terrifying question mark. It's uncertainty, loneliness, and our brains are wired to choose a predictable pain over an unknown possibility. So in this context, forgiveness isn't really a conscious choice to heal. It becomes a survival strategy. It's your brain's defense mechanism to avoid the scary, unknown world of starting over. Okay, let's boil all this down to the single most important takeaway. We need to understand the difference between an apology and real change. An apology without different behavior isn't healing. It's not progress, it's just an emotional reset button. It pauses the pain just long enough for the cycle to start all over again. Real change isn't dramatic. It's not a big, tearful speech. Real change is quiet. It's consistent effort day after day. It's them actually doing things differently. And most of all, it's them respecting your boundaries. No arguments, no excuses. And this is the bottom line, the ultimate truth. Forgiveness should be part of your healing. It should never, ever cost you your peace of mind. If forgiving someone costs you your self-respect, it's not forgiveness anymore. It's surrender.
So I'll just leave you with this final question to think about. At the end of the day, you have to decide what matters more, the temporary relief of a sincere-sounding apology or the lasting peace that only comes from real, consistent change.